One of the most common RV upgrades is switching from 15-inch wheels and tires to 16-inch wheels and tires. But is it actually worth it, and does it actually lift up your trailer? And if so, how much? So we're going to see if it's worth it and also talk about some advantages and disadvantages. Now, one of the big reasons to go from 15-inch tires to 16-inch tires is really about reliability. Tire blowouts are one of the most common problems with RVs, and a lot of times RVs will come with 15-inch tires that are really barely rated for the weight of the actual RV. And like my RV trailer, it had an option to go from 15 to 16-inch wheels and tires, along with an upgraded axle. Same exact trailer, same exact layout, and same exact weight. The only difference is that it had the lower option running gear, which I bought this used, so I didn't get that option to purchase that. So what that means is that when you're so close to your weight limit and also driving down the highway on a really hot day, those tires are working extremely hard. And you should never run any of your equipment, wheels, tires, bearings, and more close to their weight limit all the time. Because if you are always running close to your max payload, well, then you possibly could end up like this on the side of the road. And that can be costly. So we're going to compare this new 16-inch wheel and tire to the old 15-inch wheel and tire. Now, if you're not familiar with RV wheels and tires, or at least a tire in general, and maybe you bought a used RV and you don't know what's actually on there, it's a good thing to check because the previous owner probably put the cheapest thing on there just to get it sold. Now, one thing to look at is the size, but also this number right here and this number right here. This is the load rating, and you can find these numbers online at, say, America's Tire or any other tire shops. They will show you the load index. And this will show you what each tire is rated for as far as how much weight this tire can carry on its own. But then if you add up all four, that gives you the total amount that it can carry. But then you can check that with the gross vehicle weight rating that is on the sticker of the side of your RV. Now, in no way does changing your tires to larger or even your axles to a heavier axle change the fact that this GVR never changes according to this sticker. That is law right there. So no matter what you do, it doesn't matter if it's a weigh station, a CHP, or a lawyer, that is the first thing they're going to look at if the worst should happen. Now, the number next to it is also going to be an important number, which is the speed rating. This tells you what the tire is rated for as far as its max towable speed. Because not all 15-inch wheels are rated the same. Some of them can do over 80, some under 80, some even under 65. So always good to check what you have. That way you have a better and safer towing experience. Okay, so advantage number one of a 16-inch tire versus a 15-inch tire is higher weight capacity. That tire right there can hold more weight, obviously, than the 15-inch tire. Since both of these tires are Goodyear Endurance, it makes it for a great side-by-side comparison. So just an example. So as we look at the tire on the left, this can hold a weight of 2,833 pounds, while the tire on the right holds a weight of 3,417 pounds. That's 584-pound difference, but by the time you add up all four of these, you are now looking at a new total of 2,336 pounds more weight that four of those will be able to handle. So this means your tires are going to be working less hard than, say, the 15s on an equal playing field. So the same trailer that this is going to be mounted to means that these don't have to work as hard to carry that same weight. And not to mention, going to a 16-inch tire, you typically get a lot more tire options that you can buy, because 16s can get you those Goodyear Endurances, which you can get those on there obviously, but you can move up to also the Saloons. You can move over to the Trans Eagles as more, which I think they even came out with a 15, but going to a 15-inch Trans Eagle and running 80 psi or even higher, you could possibly damage your trailer because it's such a rigid tire. So just because you get yourself a Trans Eagle doesn't mean you go from a 10 ply to a 12 or a 14, because again, you're going to turn your trailer to a rattle trap. The tire and the suspension will probably be fine, but you will see screws start popping out everywhere. So for me, I'm still staying to a 10 ply E-rated tire, but just by going to a 16-inch, I get that extra payload and some other benefits, such as this tire holds more air or more volume of air, which means it's going to run cooler than this one on the same playing field again. So the same sunny hot day going down the road with more weight capacity, more volume of air, this should run cooler than this one on a side-by-side test. Not to mention the 16-inch is also going to wear less. And how is that even possible? Because if it's on the road, well, think about it. This one being bigger is going to rotate less than the tire on your left. So if we take a look at our calculations, because the diameter is different, the tire on the left, this is going to rotate 713 times for every mile that it travels. If we look at the right, that means that this tire here, because it's a bigger diameter, is going to rotate 655 times for every mile that it travels. So that's a difference of 58 times less that this wheel is going to go around every mile that it travels. Now sure, 58 times isn't really that big of a difference, but that's only 1 mile. Now let's calculate it to 100 miles. So now you can see the difference, 5,800 times less that tire is going to spin for every 100 miles. Times that by 200 miles, 500 miles, 1,000 miles, this tire is now going to last longer than this one. So again, you can see the advantages right there is that this tire lasts longer, it doesn't have to work as hard to carry the same weight, and again, that's why this is such a common upgrade. So let's go do some measuring before we get these new ones mounted, then we'll measure again to see how much lift we get, and we'll talk about a few more advantages, and then talk about some disadvantages. Okay, height difference. Let's see what it measures now. We'll take a few measurements at the rear, also that leveler we're going to do in between the tires, and we're also going to do our clearance for suspension wise, because you want to have at least about 3 inches is kind of recommended. So we'll take a measurement there as well, and then we'll take an after measurement after we get the new wheels and tires on. Okay, we're going to do the back of the RV first. So if we take a look here, we have about, we're just going to keep it simple and round it right to about 21 inches. It's a little bit less than 21, but that's good enough. And the rear leveler looks about 7 inches. Now the gap between these tires is going to get closer. It's going to close up a little, so I would say we're at about 5.5, 5 3/4 inches roughly. So depending, and we'll see what that looks like when we get the new ones on. And might as well just take one right here at the fender skirt. Looks about 23 inches. Now as far as the top of the tire to the bottom of the floorboard there, and as our suspension goes, we have right now roughly 5.5 inches of clearance. A little bit hard to hold this, at least with one hand, but we're going to see what happens with that. But no fear if we get too close, because there always is a fix. Okay, and we are back with the new wheels and tires, and I tried to make sure I'm at exactly the same spot. So you see that little crack right here, that's where I am. And if we take a look at this section of the video, that same crack is there. Not to mention the little street marker is also there, and also the little crack right in front of that tire there. So I'm exactly the same spot, so nothing really changes as far as tilting left to right, or as far as up and down from front to back. And so now a side-by-side, here is the old 15-inch wheels and tires, and now here is the newly installed 16-inch wheels and tires. Time for new measurements. Okay, so here we are at the back of the trailer, and we take a new measurement here. It looks like we are at about 22 3/4. We're not going to mark it to the 8th or the 16th, just something very close. And this is what it was before. And now as we go to the rear leveler, which this was 7 inches, and now look at that. We're at, wow, 8 and about 3/4 of an inch. So decent amount of lift. If we go to our fender flare, we now have a new measurement of 24.5 inches roughly. And now, of course, the tire gap did close in, which we were about 5.5 to 6 roughly on the last one. Now, if we take a look, we're going to try to get that right in line with the axle. A little bit hard to see on camera, but we went from the 5.5 to where basically we're now at about 3.5, maybe 3 3/4. And now as we take a look at the top of the tire to the bottom of where the flooring is on this slide, we have lost a little bit, but we still have, it looks like 4 inches roughly of travel there. Now there are a few reasons why I'm doing this. One is the truck is new and it sits higher, so it pushed my nose higher, and I still don't have the back level yet. You can see, hard to at least see at this particular angle, but it is squatting in the rear. And so with the nose of the trailer up, that means the back of the trailer is down. So it is also squatting just like the truck. So by adding the 16-inch wheels and tires, I'm not only increasing my load capacity, running tires that'll be cooler, also can handle more weight, and overall should last longer, but I am also lifting the trailer up to help get it more level with this, which that is my mission. So if you guys want to stick around for the next couple videos, I'll be working on the truck next, and then I'll be heading back to the trailer for more additional add-ons. Now, one thing I could do is drop down the nose of this, but this particular hitch is at its lowest setting. But I do like to go into some off-road areas, so having the extra clearance right here is kind of nice, because I have 7 inches right here of clearance, just a little bit extra actually, and about 6.5 back there. So I have plenty of room for when I do go to some of those off-road locations, when this thing is tilting back and forth as far as the camber of the road and more. I won't really have to worry about this thing smashing into my bed. Okay, so mission accomplished as far as lifting the trailer. That was definitely one thing I wanted to do, because I needed the trailer higher for the truck, but I also wanted a more reliable tire, because obviously when you get a flat, that costs a lot of money just in the damage alone. So what are some of the downsides? Well, downsides are really going to be, one is the cost, because if you look at a 15-inch tire, let's just use these again for example, the Goodyear is going to come in at around $217 for the exact same 15-inch. But when you go to the 16-inch tire, you're now looking at about $250, $247 I think is what it's going for online. But you add that times 4 more tires, you're now at $200 extra when it comes time to replace tires. Now, of course, if you do upgrade from 15s to 16s, you're not just buying tires, you're also buying wheels, which then you're probably going to want new center caps and new lug nuts. So by the time you add in the cost of the wheel and tire replacement, you're now looking at around maybe $1,750. That's roughly what I paid by the time I had everything and to the time it's installed, as you see here. Now, downside number 2 only pertains to some people, because it's really going to be clearance, because if you don't have enough clearance in between each one of the wheels, which you want at least an inch minimum, that is like the least you want. 1.5 inches is ideal, or more. Not to mention the space at the top of the tire. As that thing goes up and down with the suspension, you're going to want at least about 3 inches of clearance up there so the suspension can move and not hit the floorboard. And if you're looking for another disadvantage, I guess number 3 would be you are adding some extra weight, not really to the trailer as it just kind of sits so much, but mainly as you pull it, because as you pull it, these tires are heavier, so it takes a little bit more to get it going. And it also takes a little bit more to get them to stop, because there is more weight. You're talking an additional, I think it was about 8 to 10 pounds per tire. And when that's a rotational weight, again, it does take a little bit more to stop those as far as the brakes. So you could add some extra wear and tear on the brakes now, because it's going to have to try to stop that. Okay, so when to upgrade and when does it really make sense? When your trailer is near its weight capacity, that might be a good time to upgrade wheels and tires. If you constantly tow long distance, this will help give you a longer lifespan for your tire, not to mention probably prevent some flats, because again, they're going to run a little bit cooler, you'll get a longer lifespan, and typically 16-inch tires are more durable. So that brings us again to better reliability. Now, to be fair, not everybody needs to move to 16-inch tires, obviously. If you have a smaller trailer, then a 15-inch tire is going to do just fine, because you don't need to carry as much weight. And of course, if you have less clearance in between the wheels, that's also another area you do have to consider. But if you have a single axle, that's also an option where you can add an LT tire. I wouldn't run LT tires on duals because they don't have a very tough sidewall. But on a single axle that's more of an off-road type trailer where it's going to follow along a lot easier and the tires don't go underneath, because it's only a single axle, that's when you can run some of those off-road LT tires if you want. So there are some other options when it comes to the trailers that are already running 15s. Now for me, I'm all about reliability, hence going to a 16 just made sense, at least for me, because again, not only am I getting a better and longer life tire, but I'm also lifting the trailer for needed personal use. But I would also like to hear from you guys, if you went from 15s to 16s, which route did you go as far as tire brand, tire size, and more? I would love to know down in the comments, and I hope this video helped you out as far as the information. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys in another video.